Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Carlos, this is Steven.
Hello everyone.
Welcome back to Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Today, a very special video on the release of the new Xerjoff pair called Amber Gold and Rose Gold. Keep it right there.
Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Brooklyn Fragrance Lover.
Thanks so much for choosing to tune into Brooklyn Fragrance Lover with my special buddy and guest, as always, Mr. Redolessence.
Thank you for having me as usual.
You guys know how much we adore the house of Xerjoff. We really, really do. It is one of our favorite houses. There's just so many that we love. Doesn't matter to list them. Today we're concentrating on these two. This just came out this year. Amber Gold and Rose Gold.
Beautiful.
We're a little tight for space here, so we didn't put out the whole packaging, but we can't do this video without showing you the beauty of this magnificent packaging. Come on, guys. It doesn't get any better than that beautiful packaging.
It is gorgeous.
Gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I said this would make the most fabulous Valentine's Day present for a loved one.
Yeah, right around this time of the year, perfect timing of its release.
Absolutely, the red and the satin and what have you. You may notice that the presentation was done by my good friend here, the Vanna White of the fragrance reviewers circle.
It's too funny.
You do it well.
Thank you so much.
So a pair of fragrances that come in a box set. You can wear them standalone or you can layer them together.
Okay.
I love them both, but I definitely really, really do love the layer of both of them together. They're very, very potent. One spray is good for hours and hours. No exaggeration. Like, they're really, really potent.
And that's usually the case with most Xerjoffs.
So Amber Gold. This one right here, it has notes of tangerine, coriander, tobacco blossom, almond blossom, patchouli, and musk. It's on my hand here.
I'm wearing it as well.
Okay. Oh, I thought you had the rose. You
I
put
have
it on
both.
another spot.
Yeah.
So it opens with a little bit of citrus, and I think in this composition, the tobacco kind of dominates the fragrance.
I would have to agree with you on that, yeah. So I do get the citrus in the opening. It doesn't drown out the other notes, but it's a nice little accent to sort of open up the blend.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you start getting into the heart, you do pick up on that tobacco blossom, which is going to be quite different from like a tobacco leaf or like a pipe tobacco or something like that. And I can liken it to another one from the Shooting Stars collection called Oroville.
Yes, I know
which
that
used
one
to be
well.
called Oroville tobacco. And it contains a very similar ingredient in here. And for that reason, I actually really like this one. And I find myself gravitating a little bit towards this one. And I'm having a hard time picking a favorite between the two.
I'll leave that for a little later.
Yeah.
The almond blossom gives it a little creaminess. I don't get, like with most amber fragrances, a syrupy, sweet amber. That's not here.
Right. No, neither do I. And so I think amber would kind of give off the impression that it's something in the vein of like Tom Ford's Amber Absolute or Camel by Zoologist, but you can tell that the ingredients pieced in here are very methodically chosen in such a way that you have the, I hate to use the word wispiness, but you have this almost carefree persona in the mid, but you have that grounding patchouli which really amplifies all of the other notes. It's such a well pieced together composition, from the citrus to the tobacco to the green earthiness underneath it all. It's very meditative.
As you all know, amber isn't really a note. It's an accord that's put together by putting different notes together to create an amber accord.
Correct.
Typically, it includes vanilla. There's no vanilla in this one.
Right, not
so
listed, sure.
It's not sweet, and a lot of times some ambers can turn some people off because they go powdery. For some reason, however, they blend that amber accord. That's not here at all. It's very full and intense, but there's no powderiness, there's no sweetness. And it's got that great tobacco that kind of rides the whole fragrance and keeps it fairly masculine.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of other tobacco-based scents are a bit eccentric, but I think this one is very reserved, but I think there's a sophistication in the reservation.
Okay.
I really like this one.
That works for me. Then we've got Rose Gold.
Awesome. And that's another one that I quite enjoy.
And when he first sprayed it on, his eyes rolled back in his head. Don't lie, brother. I saw. I was watching.
All right. Perhaps I like this one even more. So this one actually contains notes of Bulgarian rose, geranium, giving it a little bit of a minty vibe. We have patchouli, amber, musk, and woodsy notes. And I think what I liked about this one is, of course, going back to the previous works of Chris Maurice. He's done one for the house of Sospiro called Duetto. And there's another one called Wardacina. And I kind of view this one as the marriage between the two, minus the spicy notes. Because there was like a peppery nuance in Duetto. And what I really like about this one is that it has that similar olfactory profile, but it's reinvented with a very natural presence from the Bulgarian rose. It's very juicy, it's full of life, and very realistic.
It's actually a bit of a fresh rose.
Yeah.
And I definitely get an Amouage Lyric Man type of effect. That also is kind of fresh for me and soapy as well. I kind of get that here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of rose fragrances, especially on the Middle Eastern market, although this is an Italian brand, they're usually coupled with an oud note. And here, you don't get too much of that oud-rose combo, but you do get this sort of like clean vibe, almost like a white floral presence from the scent. As far as the patchouli note that's utilized in the base, I don't get it as strongly as I do with amber gold. So in amber gold, I get more of that patchouli nuance dominating everything.
Yeah.
Here, it's really about the rose.
The rose really, it persists. If you're not a rose fan, this might not be for you, but the layer might be for you. But that being said, it's just a really genuine smelling rose. It's not syrupy or jammy rose. It's straight up rose that's alive, and you have to really appreciate the note of rose to love this one.
You're absolutely right. And you mentioned one thing earlier that I would like to echo. You said this would make the perfect gift for like Valentine's Day. Wait until you smell this one.
Yeah.
Because this one really does smell like Valentine's Day in the bottle with the rose and just how sensual it comes across.
So the layer. I've got the layer here, and let me know what you think.
Okay. See, that's really nice. And now that you paired them together, it's hard to tell that one is coming off a little bit stronger than the other. I feel like they're intermingling with one another in the very sort of carefree but calculated way. I think if anything, the rose is still the loudest component between the two.
I told you, it's rose, front and center.
But my nose is definitely gravitating towards it.
You can almost smell, going back to rose gold, like the stem, the whole of the flower, you know? And that, I'm not the biggest rose fan, to be perfectly transparent, but when they're done right, like so, I just love it.
Yeah, it's not diluted, it's not watered down, it's not adulterated. It has a very full presence. It's very robust, and that's what I appreciate about it.
Sillage is, like most Xerjoff, really, really good. When you wave your arm or when you're gesticulating, as you say, I can smell it coming off of you. When I was testing it at home and I was doing things, the rose was what I smelled the most, more so than the amber. But last night I tried the combo and I really, really loved it. Sprayed it before I went to bed. It was on my arm the next morning. Not as loud, of course, but we're talking 7-8 hours later, I could still smell it and detect it on my skin. So that says a lot.
That's pretty impressive. And when I did spray this on for the first time, you asked me, which one did you just spray? And then a few seconds later, you said, oh no, never mind. I know which one you just sprayed. Because you actually smelled it in the air.
It wafts. It really is. It's a job well done here. It's not for everyone. But if you're looking to experiment into niche, this might be a bit of a big jump into it. Especially that it's a little costly. But it's definitely, at the very least, worth sampling if you can get your hands on it somehow.
Yeah, this is definitely among the best of the best. This is for connoisseurs, aficionados, lovers of perfume, the art of perfume. Just this house does that so wonderfully.
But I will say there's nothing challenging here whatsoever. That being said, you know, it's definitely for the connoisseur, but there's nothing here that's unwearable or challenging.
Correct.
Or like, ugh, or
It's not
anything.
an malic or
No.
overly smoky or anything like that.
It's the art of perfumery right here in a box set, and it is definitely one to be smelled at one point if you can.
Right. I love it. Well said.
And I'd love to help you do that. One lucky subscriber can win a 5ml decant of each of these. This can be worldwide. All you have to do to win this set is subscribe to Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, subscribe to Mr. Redolessence,
Thank you.
like this video, then leave one comment down below with what you enjoyed most about this video today. If you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing. If you haven't been a subscriber, click on the bell icon to miss notifications on new reviews, new content giveaways, and all the fragrant fun always happening right here at BFL. Take care, stay blessed, and we will see you at the next review.